Hey everyone, I'm Nicole Guillaume with Guiding Echoes, the channel that is devoted to your spiritual and personal growth. Here on this channel, we love to dive into those deep spiritual issues so that you can gain a better understanding of yourself and the world around you. So this channel is meant to empower you, inspire you, and help you to find your own spiritual path. So we're glad to have you with us today. Here on this video, we are going to talk about clairvoyance. We're going to talk about what it is and what it is not, because there are a lot of misconceptions out there regarding this amazing ability. So first, we want to talk about what the word clairvoyance means. Now, clairvoyance actually means clear seeing or clear sight. Now, I believe a more accurate definition would be intuitive seeing or intuitive sight, because for most of us who have developed our clairvoyance, we are able to see things intuitively in our minds. So we may not see clear physical apparitions, or we may not see clear physical visions. You know, for me, that'd be a little scary. I've seen them a few times and that was okay. I didn't freak out or anything. But if it was something that was happening consistently, for me, I think that would actually be a little overwhelming and distracting. So for most of us, we are able to develop this gift, but we keep it in our minds. We're able to see these amazing visions and pictures intuitively through our own minds. And so that's how most clairvoyants work. Now, when you think of the word clairvoyant, what is it that you think of? Yeah, most people would say psychic medium. Most people would say psychic medium, and that's actually incorrect. So somewhere along the line, the word clairvoyant became intermingled with the word psychic medium. And so many times when people are referring to a clairvoyant, they're not talking about an actual clairvoyant, they're talking about a psychic medium. So let's dive into that a little bit more. Now, as I'm sure you already know, a psychic medium is a person who is able to speak with the spirits of the dead. So this means that if somebody here on earth dies, their soul, their spirit, crosses over into another dimension. Some people call it heaven, some people call it the fourth dimension, some people don't know what to call it, and that's okay. But we believe that the consciousness, the spirit, lives on, and it crosses over into another realm. Well, psychic mediums are able to tune into that realm so that they can speak with the spirits after they have passed away, because their consciousness, their spirit still exists. And so that is, in short, what a psychic medium does. They're able to gain that communication so they can give messages from the spirit of a loved one to the people who are still here, to what we would refer to, I guess, as the living. So that's what a psychic medium does. And the interesting thing is that not all psychic mediums are clairvoyant. They're not all clairvoyant. They don't all clearly see spirit. They may not see them physically before them, standing in front of their own face, and they may not even see them intuitively. They may work with archetypes, which is what I tend to work with, or they may be strongest in their clairaudience, which is clear hearing, or what we would refer to as intuitive hearing. And I have found that when it comes to psychic mediumship, clairaudience is probably the most important ability to have, because you want to be sure that you are hearing spirit very clearly so that you can relay that information accurately to their family members and friends who are still here. We don't know how difficult it is for the spirits on the other side to make contact with us, and we want to respect and honor and value their time and energy by relaying their information accurately to those who are still here. Seeing spirit clearly isn't always that important, but hearing them clearly and knowing what they want, which can be also fall into the line of claircognizance, which is clear knowing or intuitive knowing, is of course very, very important. In fact, I talk about clairvoyance and the other clairs and how you can enhance and develop them in my online course called Easy Steps to Strengthen Your Clairvoyance. You can learn more about that on my website. So I'll be sure to put the link to that in the description area down below. But it's a great program that will help you to develop all of your clairs, and it will also help you to determine what your strongest clair is, because most of us have at least one or two that are dominant. And so that's what a psychic medium does, and that's really the responsibility of a psychic medium, and that's why clairvoyance may not be their strongest clair. It may not be their strongest intuitive ability. Now, switching gears over to a clairvoyant. Not all clairvoyants communicate with the dead. And so if you are somebody who notices that you're more visual, that you get visions often, and you maybe want to address this gift and develop it and enhance it, but you're nervous because you don't want to see the dead, guess what? That doesn't have to be an issue because not all clairvoyants are psychic mediums and not all psychic mediums are clairvoyants. These are different abilities that we're dealing with. And not only are they different abilities, but they're different gifts. They're a different way of putting them into practice, putting them into play. Other clairvoyants may find that they receive visions that help them to gain answers to projects that they're working on. They may find that amazing visions come into their minds as they are working on a creative project. So clairvoyance is a gift that may be very helpful to an artist, maybe even to a writer, to a cartoonist, to a director, to somebody who works in movies. You know, that's a gift that can be very prevalent and helpful for them. But you may also notice that sometimes you will get a vision that pops into your head, and a few days later, what you saw ended up taking place before you, right? In fact, let me give you an example of this. A few years ago, I was outside in my backyard, sitting on my porch swing, just enjoying the day. I was drinking a nice tea. I was enjoying the nice California weather. In that feeling, in that energy of peace, and that vibe of gratitude, I ended up getting this vision in my head of my next door neighbor using the hose to squirt my dog. And I remember it so vividly. I remember that image and that picture and that little cartoon, if you will, so vividly. It wasn't really a cartoon, but that's what it felt like. And I remember thinking, that's kind of weird. Like, that's a weird thing to see, right? How random. So the very next day, I'm in the house, I'm doing the dishes, and I hear my dog yelp. So I run outside in the backyard to see what was going on, and what do you think had happened? My next door neighbor had sprayed my dog with his hose. Now, I don't know why he did that. His excuse for doing it didn't quite make sense to me, but anyways, that's a whole different matter. But the thing is that my clairvoyance kicked in. For whatever reason, I got this vision of a future event. And so clairvoyants are often psychic. They're able to look into the future, and they will get visions just like the one that I told you about. And sometimes it is combined with claircognizance, where they get a vision and they know exactly what it means. They have all the details regarding when it's going to happen, why it's going to happen, who the major players are, and you just gain a lot of information along with that vision. So it's like you have the full picture. Now, I know that a lot of you are very interested in clairvoyance and have a lot of questions about it, and I've done my best to answer what it is. And if you have other questions regarding clairvoyance, please put them in the comment section down below, and I may be able to answer those in a future video. And for those of you who are clairvoyant, I would love to hear from you too. I'd love to hear how this ability has helped you, what you've done to develop those gifts, and if there's anything that I've missed regarding what clairvoyance is, I would love for you to clarify those missing aspects in the comment section down below. And for those of you who are searching for more information regarding all these different clairs and how to develop your abilities, read the comment section down below. There's a lot of knowledgeable people here in this community, and it's so important for you to get involved with them, because that's how we grow together. That's how we're able to grow in strength, in numbers, but most of all, that's how we're able to grow spiritually as one mind, one energy, and one people. So I hope that you have found this video helpful. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I would love to welcome you to the Guiding Echoes community, and I'd also like to invite you to subscribe to this channel. Here on this channel, we love to dive into those deep, spiritual, outside the box questions, and we love to learn more about different spiritual topics. So if that's something you're interested in, you've come to the right place. So be sure that you hit that subscribe button. Also, I'd love to give a big shout out to my Patreons out there. It's because of you that I'm able to continue this work and put videos like this one out there. So if you'd like to learn how you can support this channel, please visit patreon.com/Nicole. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.